Let's review our Sunday school lesson for today. We are in the winter quarter for December, January, and February of 2022 and 2023, entitled Chosen, Not Choice. And we're looking at God's calling that is rooted in grace and not humans deserving it. We are in unit number 3, the final unit for this quarter of lessons for the month of February, entitled God's Call and Its Righteousness. And in these 4 lessons from the New Testament, they're helping us and reminding us that God's call on our lives does not take regards to our past. Our lesson for today is lesson number 11 for February the 12th, 2023, entitled Trust and Encouragement. Our printed passage is 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 3 through 14. Let's listen today to the words of the Apostle Paul as he speaks to Timothy, one of the sons in the ministry that he has. And one thing that he points out to Timothy is God's call, that him as well as Timothy have been called by God. Now, verse number 9 is where we see that at. And I ask us a question: what is this holy calling that they receive not because of their works, but because of the purpose and the grace of God? What is that holy calling? And that holy calling that they received were to be preachers of the gospel. They were to be evangelists, carrying that message wherever they went and reaching out to those who are lost. They were carriers of the word. They took it with them wherever they went, and they shared it with whoever they could. They were spreaders of the goodness of the Lord, and they spread this gospel message to new places and all around. Their calling was to preach the word of God. And before you just point that at one person and that's their responsibility, all of us are called to share Jesus Christ. We're to share him wherever we go, whoever we come across. We all ought to be evangelists and carriers of the word and spreaders of the gospel. And yes, there'll be some suffering when we spread this gospel, but our calling is to spread the word of God. We have been saved to share the salvation that we have. And so in verse number 13, Paul tells Timothy what has been entrusted to you, what has been committed to you, what has been given to you, which is the gospel. Value it, keep it, guard it, treasure it, because it's the power of God unto salvation. Hold on to it. And for all of us, one, we must remember our calling, that is to carry the gospel. And then 2, we must treasure it. That message of the gospel is eternal wealth to a bankrupt soul. So we must know the power of what we carry and share Jesus with everyone that we come across.